ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतम् अस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। बोले श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Hari Om. So today, after having seen the non-duality or the oneness of consciousness in these verses 4:14 to 4:18, we see how Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankaracharya talks about giving up perceptions. Giving up perceptions means we are entertaining thoughts through the eyes, the sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. The sense of hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling, and touching. Then speaking, walking, talking, holding, reproducing, excreting, the emotions and thoughts. We are holding many perceptions. So these 4 verses talk about giving up perceptions, and then the rest is a description of we have seen this yesterday. Vidya phalam syat asato nivrittihi. Perceptions we have completed yesterday. So today the signs of a realized seer. There are 43 qualities that Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya mentions. These the purpose of mentioning these qualities is not to have a checklist and go around seeing which realized person has got all these qualities, what qualities are not there, what qualities are missing in other people. Siddhasya lakshanani sadhakasya sadhanani. Whatever is the lakshana or qualities of a Siddha Purusha becomes the qualities of sadhana for all of us, the means for our practice in this path of being a Jivan Mukta Purusha. So let us see what are those qualities. Verse 426. Brahmakarataya sada sthitataya nirmukta bhahyarthadhihi anyavedita bhogya bhoga kalano nidraluvat balavat swapnalokita lokavat jagadidam pashyan kvachit labdhadhihi आस्ते कश्चिदनंत पुण्यफलभुक् धन्यः सामान्यो भुवि. There are 10 qualities mentioned in this verse. Brahma akarataya. These people who are realized, their form becomes a form of Brahman. Akara is form. Brahma means that consciousness which is present everywhere and in everything. So which means whatever they focus their attention on, they are fully present with that thought, that feeling, that emotion, that situation. Everything holds their complete attention. That is Brahmakara. Sada sthitataya. They are always established in that Brahmakara vritti or thought. Nirmukta Bhakya Arthadhihi. in their consciousness, in their mind, there is no bahya artha. There are no objects of perception of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching. They do not contemplate on those objects of perception. Nirmukta, they are free of all that. Anya Vedita Bhogya Bhoga Kalano. What is their enjoyment in life? Whatever others come and give them, whatever others provide to them, whatever others want them to do, they just respond in that manner to the world outside by receiving and giving what is expected of them and what is given to them. Bhoga Kalano, that is their intake from this world. They don't demand anything, they don't go and seek something, but they just receive what comes to them. How do they receive? Nidraluvat Balavat. They're like a Nidralu, like a sleeping person. Gurudev very beautifully says, when a person is asleep, suppose the weather is very cold and the blanket that is over us is removed a little bit. Somebody passes by, they see us shivering, and then they put the blanket on top and go. So this is the kind of service that they get from the world. They are not even aware that somebody has served them. Nidraluvat, Balavat. Like how a baby is being taken care of by the mother. The baby doesn't do anything, doesn't ask for anything. It is just existing. The mother takes the baby and feeds the baby, bathes the baby, clothes the baby, dresses up the baby. The baby doesn't ask for anything. So this man of realization also lives a life like a baby, in the sense when it comes to the demands of the physical body, physical existence. Swapna lokita lokavat jagadidam. How is their vision about this world? Whatever happens in the world, whatever conversations happen, swapna alokita, just like how we see in a dream. In the dream, what exactly happens is we don't give any specific importance to things. We cannot take actions in the dream. The actions as well as the experiences, whatever is being given to us, whatever is being dished out to us, that only comes out in the dream. That is why mostly in the dreams we can experience this, like a tiger is chasing or a lion is chasing, and we cannot move because the power of locomotion does not express in the dream because the intellect is not awake. The discriminative intellect is not awake in the dream state. Swapna alokita lokavat jagadidam pashyan kvachit labdhatihi. He looks at the world as if it's a dream. Kvachit labdhatihi aste. Suppose the intellect is at work. Kaschit ananta punya phalabhuk dhanyaha. He is endlessly enjoying the results of good deeds done in many crores of lifetimes before. Bhuk Danyaha, such a fortunate person, Samanyo Bhuvi. In this world, he is not only fortunate, he enjoys the good results of the deeds of his past lives, and he is also a Manya. A person of realization is a very respected person in society, in the world. If the society knows such a person, he is very much respected because he has attained a place where many aspire to be and they can't be even if they try very hard. From the 11th to 15th qualities, the next verse, Sthita prajno yatirayam yassadanandamashnute brahmanyeva vilinatma nirvikaro vinishkriyah. This verse outlines 5 qualities. Sthita prajnaha, such a person has a very steady intellect. It is not a wavering mind. It is the intellect is very steady, means the decision making faculty is very well exercised in the right manner in distinguishing between who am I and what is not I. Yatihi ayam yaha, this yati or the one who strives, sadanandam ashnute. What does he eat or what does he enjoy? He enjoys bliss at all times. Brahmani eva vilina atma. His self or the notion of I is absorbed in the Brahman. Brahman is consciousness. Nirvikaro. His mind has no modifications. Everything is just that expression of oneness of awareness in his mind. Whatever he sees or she sees, wherever he or she sees, it is just that oneness of consciousness. It is that awareness which is falling on the object of knowledge and not any like and dislike or hatred, fear, anger, and these qualities. It is just pure awareness. Vinishkriyaha. Because everything is only about awareness, he lives like light. Light does not do any work except throw light around and shine. The shining is not a special work. Its nature itself is to shine, and it just lives its nature. In the same way, the person who is conscious of his own true self does not do any specific actions in this world to impress upon others. He remains vinishkriyaha. Now this next verse, 428, explains the verse Sthita Prajna, which is spoken about in many verses in the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 2 from verse 65 onwards. Brahmatmanoho shodhitayoho ekabhavavagahini nirvikalpa cha chinmatra vritti prajneti kathyate susthita sa bhavedyasya sthita prajnassa uchyate. Who is a sthita prajna? The first quality that was mentioned in the last verse is the one who has a steady mind, steady wisdom, or steady knowledge. The flow of knowledge, the flow of wisdom, the flow of understanding is steady in that person. Who is that person? Brahma Atmanoho Shodhitayoho. The person admits only thoughts of Brahman in his mind, thoughts of the divine. Everything else is filtered out. Tayoho Eka Abhava Gahini. There is no other activity in the mind other than contemplation of the Brahman. Such a person's mind is nirvikalpa, meaning there is only one thought and there is no other thought, so that one thought is also the thought of Brahman only. And there are no thought modifications, there are no different thoughts in the mind. Chinmatra. And how is the nature of that mind? It is only consciousness. It is of the nature of knowing. And there is no doing, there is no enjoying, there is no suffering, there is no expecting, there is no relating, there is no other activity happening in the mind. Chinmatra. The mind performs its job of just being aware. Chinmatra vrittihi. That kind of a state of mind, being of the mind, is called prajna. Prajna means prakarshena jnayate. Prajna means wisdom. Prakarshena jnayate. Kathyate. Whatever is known very clearly. Whatever the person sees, hears, tastes, smells, touches, feels, emotes, thinks, speaks, is known very clearly. Nothing escapes that person's awareness. No action, thought, word, or actions, thoughts, words, emotions, and feelings, none of them escape that person's attention. Everything is passed only through awareness. Such a person, sussthitas sa bhavedyasya. One who has such a steady state of illumination, prajna, sa prajna, in whose mind that knowledge is flowing very steadily, that person is called a sthita prajna. Sthita prajnasa uchyate. Arjuna asks Sri Krishna in the second chapter, Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. And then Bhagavan starts to explain about the state of the Sthita prajna. Here Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, he is not repeating the verses of the Gita, but he is adding his own touch to the description of a Sthita prajna, mostly from the point of view of a Vedantic perspective. Yasya sthita bhavet prajna yasyanando nirantaraha prapancho vismrita prayaha sajivan mukta ishyate. This is a refrain again in a number of these verses. Sajivan mukta ishyate. Here, three qualities are mentioned. Qualities number 16, 17 and 18. Yasya sthita bhavet prajna. The prajna or the consciousness of the person is very steady. Yasya anandaha nirantaraha. That person's experience of bliss is eternal. There is no difference. There is no experience of bliss now and blister later. It is always the state of bliss. Prapanchaha vismrita prayaha. Generally, this person is not aware of the world outside. In such a meditative state, when the person is there, usually in the state of meditation, they say Lord Shiva just is meditating half eyes open and half closed, where he is not completely aware of the world. You can see hardly 3 feet in front of you, where any important details or matter that we need to know about the world, we can attend to and be responsive to that world that much alone. Prapanchaha vismrita prayaha sa jivan muktaha ishyate. That person, generally, the objects of the world, the situations of the world, and the goings on of the world does not disturb the Jivan Mukta. It does not mean that he is lazy. He is very aware. So he has the capacity, even if situations are getting out of control and people come and meet him, they ask for a solution, and the solution of the Jivan Mukta is implemented, the situation can turn around. So he has got the capacity to change situations, but he does not go about changing all situations because he allows the course of nature to take place, and he guides people who seek his guidance, who want change. And if the change is coming within the realms of dharma, he is there to help others. So he is not a lazy person, but he is a very aware person who is more gentlemanly in his qualities, not intruding, but being available for any help or anything that needs to be done in the world. The next verse 430. Leena dhirapi jagarti jagrat dharma vivarjitah bodho nirvasano yasya sajivan mukta ishyate. Leena dhihi api jagarti. Even though his mind is completely absorbed in meditation, he is actually awake. He is awake to what needs to be addressed, not for everything. He is not having a fractal mind. He is not having a fractured mind. It's a one-pointed mind, Jagarti. Even if he is awake, he is not excited about what actions need to be done, what he is doing. There is no excitement. Jagrat dharma vivarjitaha. Jagrat Dharma means when I see some tasty food in front of me, the Jagrat Dharma is I get excited. If I'm sleeping, even if a tasty food is kept in front of me, I will not be aware. That is Leena Dhihi. But when I am awake, if something tasty is there, I respond to that with my own likes and dislikes. He does not respond in that way with likes and dislikes. Jagrat Dharma Vivarjitaha. He is free of all the emotions that are expressed in the waking state. Bodho nirvasano yasya. Such a person's knowledge or knowing is free from any excitement, any anxiety, any desire, any craving, any expectation. There is no emotional color in his thoughts, in his knowledge. Bodho nirvasano. There are no vasanas means there are no compulsive, repetitive, impure thought patterns in the mind. Everything has dropped because of his state of self realization. So, Jivan Mukta Ishyate. That person is called a Jivan Mukta. Verse 431, qualities 22 to 24. Shanta samsara kalanaha कलावानपि निष्कलः यस्य चित्तं विनिश्चिन्तं सजीवन्मुक्त इष्यते. Shanta samsara kalanaha. His thoughts about the world, his concerns about the world has quietened down. He is not that he is absolutely a dead person to the world, not that way. But he's not excited. He has got all the knowledge. He's got all the capacity, all the ability to do what needs to be done for the welfare of the world. But he does not go about promoting his skills or talking about doing good to the world. Shanta samsara kalanaha. Everything is very peaceful. Like the person in the family who in a critical situation, he remains very calm, and because he is very calm, he guides the whole family to see the end of that situation or end of that crisis. So that is the nature of the Jivan Mukta Purusha. Kalavanapi Nishkalaha. Though he may be appearing to have so many parts, like all of us have different parts: head, nose, eyebrows, eyes, ears, hands, legs, etc. He also appears to have many parts to him, but he is basically Nishkalaha. There is no parts in his knowledge. His knowledge is complete, his knowledge is whole, his knowledge is only awareness. Yasya chittam vinischintam. In his chitta or in his consciousness with thoughts of sense objects, everything is very calm. The mind is very placid. It is like the waveless ocean, which is very deep and very clear, that you can see the fish, you can see the stones beneath in the lake bed. All that can be clearly visible. His mind is like that, very clear and not agitated or worried. Sajivan muktaha ishyate. Worry is a sign of our incapability. Worry is a sign that we are just thinking about something and not taking the necessary steps to find a solution and work on the solution. So that is what is worry. So he is not worried about anything because whatever needs to be done, he does it. And if something needs to be addressed in the future, he takes the steps to address it, or he knows that he has got the capacity to do it, and there is no sense of worry. Vartamanepi dehesmin chayavad anuvartini ahanta mamata bhavo jivan muktasya lakshanam. Vartamane api dehesmin. Even if the conscious person is living in this body, he looks upon the body as chayavat anuvartini. He looks upon the body as if it is like a shadow that follows light. Ahamta mamata abhavaha. Looking upon the body as a shadow for the light of awareness, he does not have any sense of I. I is a very strong sense of importance given to one's own self, one's own qualities, one's own capabilities, one's own responsibilities, one's own enjoyment and suffering, of one's own beauty, intelligence, or abilities, nothing, no ahamta, no idea, unassuming person. Ahamta, mamata is mineness, my house, my car, my plate, my food, my water bottle, my clothes, my bike, or my family. He takes care, but he does not give importance to that mineness and everything. He takes care of everybody like how he would lovingly serve other human beings without the sense of any expectation or reward. That person is called a Jivan Mukta. Basically, Jivan Mukta is a very loving and extremely compassionate being. Even Brahman is nothing but love. That sense of love, that sense of compassion is only Brahman. So we don't need to be looking too much into the meaning of a Jivan Mukta from a very scientific perspective. It is a very simple, a Jivan Mukta, or a person who is free while living, is a person, according to the Jivan Mukti Viveka, Jivan Mukta is a person who is only sattvic in nature, who does not have qualities of rajas and tamas. Rajas means agitations of the mind, ambition, and other qualities that agitate the mind. Tamas means inertia, laziness, indifference, sloth, slumber. These qualities have gone, and there are only qualities of sattva guna in the mind. Such a person is called a Jivan Mukta. He does not have ahamta and mamata, I and mine. These thoughts are not given importance in him. अतीतान् अतीतान् अननुसन्धानं भविष्यद् अविचारणम् औदासीन्यमपि प्राप्ते जीवन्मुक्तस्य लक्षणम् अतीतान् अननुसन्धानम्. Whatever has gone away in the past, he does not think about it at all. Bhavishyat avicharanam. Whatever is to come in the future, he does not pay attention to those thoughts. Audasinyam api prapte. In the present moment also, whatever is there, there is a sort of indifference to it. Indifference means not a lackadaisical tamasic indifference of egoistic indifference. No. This indifference is whether it is good or bad, whether he likes or dislikes, whatever comes, comes, whatever goes, goes. That is the indifferent state of mind. Prapte, having attained these qualities, that person, the Jivan Mukta, is defined in this manner. Gunadosha vishishtesmin स्वभावेन विलक्षणे सर्वत्र समदर्शित्वं जीवन्मुक्तस्य लक्षणं गुण दोष विशिष्टे अस्मिन् स्वभावेन विलक्षणे. He looks at everybody, everywhere. He sees gunas, he sees good qualities, he sees not so good qualities also. Especially there may be many, many different qualities all around. Vilakshane. He does not attach himself to all those qualities with the mind of likes and dislikes. And how does he perceive everything? Sarvatra samadarshitvam. In every being, every object, and every situation, he has got samadarshana, equality of perception. Like the light in the room or the light of the sun falls equally on everything. The sun does not decide, I will shine more in this place, I will shine less in that place. Whatever less light is there is because of the movement of the objects and not because of the sun. In the same way, there may be different kinds of qualities, good and bad. The good qualities may be shining, the evil qualities may have a dark tinge to them. But the Jivan Mukta is only the light of awareness that shines on these qualities. He does not judge or condemn people, he does not praise people for their good qualities or condemn people for their evil qualities. He accepts all of them as they are, as it is. 435 इष्टानिष्टार्थ संप्राप्तौ समदर्शित समदर्शितय समदर्शितय आत्मनि उभयत्राविकारित्वं जीवन्मुक्तस्य लक्षणम् इष्ट अनिष्ट अर्थ संप्राप्तौ. He has experiences that he likes and experiences that he doesn't like. Samadarshitaya Atmani, in his own self. The previous Samadarshana is for objects of the world. This Samadarshana is for the, sometimes you may experience pain, sometimes you may experience joy, sometimes you can experience pleasure, sometimes you experience sorrow. Whatever may be the experience, the awareness of the Jivan Mukta falls on the experience and he does not get agitated because of the differences in the contents of the experience. Ubhayatra avikaritvam. His mind does not get agitated or exhilarated. Avikari means there is no modification in the mind because of the different experiences that he goes through. Brahmanandarasasvada asakti चित्ततयायते अंतर्बहिर्विज्ञानम जीवन्मुक्तस्य लक्षणम ब्रह्म आनंद रस आस्वाद. This Jivan Mukta experiences that bliss of Brahman, rasa aswada, asakti chittataya yatehe. He is engaged all the time in tasting that bliss of joy of Brahman. Antarbahihi avijnanam. He does not have any difference. He does not differentiate between what is outside and what is inside. Inside means within the body, because he is not limited by the body. He knows that he is a self which is transcended the body, mind and intellect. And so he is not concerned about the limits of the body, mind and intellect. Antarbahihi avijnanam. He does not have any specific knowledge about the body. Like how when we go to sleep, we are not aware of the body. So in the waking state also, in deep meditation or in deep contemplation, when the Jivan Mukta realizes his true self, he transcends the awareness of the body, mind and intellect. Dehendriyadau kartavye mamaham bhavavarjita audasinyena yastishtet sajivan mukta lakshanah. Here in the previous verse, Puja Gurudev gives a very beautiful example. I think in the 2 verses prior to this, like how when we do Surya Namaskar, the people, when we do the practice of Surya Namaskar, what is the suggestion given while doing the Surya Namaskar is, when you, one should look at the sun and look at one's own shadow. Bringing up this practice while doing Surya Namaskar. Look at the sun, look at the shadow. Look at the sun, look at the shadow. Then this consciousness this awareness will come that this body is nothing but a shadow of the light of awareness, light of consciousness. When this experiment is being done, when this practice is done constantly, we will realize that this light of consciousness which surrounds us falls on the physical body from outside, and that light is reflected, and that is what we experience as the surface in the skin. It is not the surface that matters, it is not the surface that we see, but it is the reflection of the light of consciousness that we experience while seeing the physical body. In the same way, the reflection of the light of consciousness that falls on our emotions, on our joy, sorrow, pain, suffering, the thoughts, the reflection of light of consciousness is what we see, and we do not see the actual thought or pain or suffering. So this practice, this ritual is a dramatization of the greater philosophical implication of the light of awareness and its reflection. The reflection is nothing but a shadow. ब्रह्मानंद रसास्वादौ आसक्ति चित्ततया यतेः अंतर्बहिः अविज्ञानम जीवन मुक्तस्य लक्षणम. The जीवन mukta is not concerned about what is within. Like, for example, there is no within me and without me in terms of space. Even though we say there is space within the body and there is space without the body, around the body, the space is not actually conditioned by the body. Space exists, the body is moving about in space. In the same way, light or awareness exists, and this body, mind, and intellect are moving about in awareness, like how it moves about in space. Dehendriyadau karta. He does not have mama aham bhava. Mama bhava, aham bhava. Whenever he is doing actions through the deha, through the body or the sense organs, he does not say, I am doing it, this is mine, I want these particular results, I want things to be perfect, I want everything to be happening as it should happen, the way I want it to be my way or the highway. All these attitudes and qualities are not there in him. Audasinya yastishtet. He always stands udasina. Udasina means not nonchalant. Udasina is a very respectful, observing, loving, and rising higher than situation attitude a person takes at all times. He is above all situations. He sits above situations. That's called Ut-asinaha. He sees everything from a higher perspective, and he does not get involved and lose his energy for no reason. Audasinyena yastishcheta. The one who is always maintaining that state of a udasin. Vairagis are also called udasin in North India. Some names of swamis, they end with udasin, which means they've given up on the world and they just are observers around. They don't participate or they don't mingle or they don't have any specific attachments to the world of objects, people, situations, emotions, etc. Vijnata atmano yasya brahma bhava shrutir balat bhavabandha vinirmuktaha sajivan mukta lakshanaha. Vijnata atmano yasya. He has known the true self. For that person, how Brahma bhavaha, he has attained that state of Brahma. How did he attain that state? Shrutehe balat. By the power of hearing from the Shrutis about that state of Brahman. He has heard, he has contemplated, he has meditated, and he rests there in that. And after resting there in that, what happens to him? Bhava bandha vinir muktaha. He becomes free of the bondage of bhava. Such a person is called a Jivan Mukta. These are the qualities of a Jivan Mukta. देहेन्द्रियेष्वहं भाव इदं भावस् तदन्यके यस्य नो भवतः क्वापि सजीवन्मुक्त इष्यते. Deha Indriya, with related to the body and with related to the sense organs, he does not have the sense of I. It is my body and these are my sense perceptions. He is not so fixated on the I and mine. And then idam bhavas tvadanyake. All other objects which are idam means aham and idam. The distinction is not there because he realized the true self. The true self is free of aham and idam. And he also is in the nature of the true self without the notions of I and this. Yasya no bhavataha kwapi. For such a person, these qualities are not to be found anywhere. And he is called a Jivan Muktaha. Na pratyag brahmanor bhedam kadapi brahma sargayo prajnaya yo vijanati sajivan mukta lakshanaha. Na pratyag brahmanoho bhedam. There is no difference in that person between an individual life living in this body and the life all around in this universe, which is Brahman. Both are not different. They are only one and the same. Kadapi, at any point of time. In the same way, he does not see any difference between Brahman, which is pervading everything and everywhere, and this creation, Sarga. This Brahman and this creation are one. This individual Pratyag and the Brahman are one. Everything is just oneness in this universe. Prajnayayo vijanati. How does he realize that oneness? Prajna. Through his own awareness, through consciousness, through knowledge, he realizes that. Through meditation, through a steady state of mind, he realizes this oneness. Such a person, these are the qualities of a Jivan Mukta. Sadhubhi pujyamanesmin pidhyamanepi durjanaihi samabhavo bhavedyasya sajivan mukta lakshanaha. Sadhubhihi pujyamane asmin pidhyamane api durjanaihi. In this person, this body is worshipped by good people, and people who are evil, having evil intentions, they may give suffering to the body. But he does not, this Jivan Mukta does not get excited when the body is worshipped, or does not get agitated when the body is being insulted or given, tortured and troubled. Samabhavaha bhavedyasya. He has an equanimous state of experience in both the cases, whether people praise him or people trouble him. Jivan Mukta Lakshanaha. Yatra pravrishta vishayah pareritam nadi pravaha iva varirashau linanti sanmatratayana vikriyam utpadayantesha yatir vimuktaha. Yati, the sannyasi who is free, whose mind is not bound by agitations and laziness. Yatra pravishta vishayaha parerita nadi pravaha iva varirashav. He remains like an ocean which gathers waters from all rivers, come and flow into the ocean. The ocean does not move higher or lower. The rivers, waters keep coming and flowing. The ocean remains still and very quiet, without expanding, getting excited, or when the water is not flowing, being depressed, or jumping up high just because water is flowing, All that is not there. In the same way, through the sense organs, the objects of the senses are reaching this Jivan Mukta Purusha like rivers. Yatha nadinam bahavombu vegaha samudrameva bhimukha dravanti. So in the Bhagavad Gita also, there's another verse, Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti nakama kami. Such a Jivan Mukta Purusha, just like all the waters of the rivers come and flow into that ocean, in the same way, the sensory perceptions from the objects of from the organs of the senses flow into the Jivan Mukta, and he is not disturbed, agitated, or excited by all of them. Linanti sanmatra taya, sanmatra, all the sense perceptions just merge within him as tanmatras. Tanmatras means they are registered inside as sound, form, taste, smell, and feeling, and not sound I like, the music I dislike, the forms I like, the colors I like, the forms and colors I dislike, the smells I like, the smells I dislike, I want more of this, I don't want more of this. All these other thoughts are not there. Only sanmatra, they are just sat. They are coming in as tanmatras inside, meaning sound, form, colors, smells, taste, and feeling. This is how they come inside, without any discrimination or without any agitation. Leenanti sanmatrataya na vikriya. There are no modifications. Vikriyam utpadayanti. These sense organs, sense objects, do not create any modification of mind in the Jivan Mukta Purusha. Meaning his response is very normal, natural, and very quiet when he is accosted by sense perceptions. Vijnata Brahma Tattvasya Yaya Purvam na Samsrutihi Asti Chenna sa Vijnata Brahma Bhavo Bahir Mukhaha. For the one who has realized the essence of the Brahman, Vijnata Brahma Tattvasya, there is no reaching out for sense objects as before. He is not trying to get anything. He does not want to strive to see something, hear something, taste something, smell or touch something, feel something, think about something, or worry about something. Nothing. Na samsrutihi, like he did before the state of awareness. Before awareness, we are always excited about things happening in the world. We want to go after something, go behind something, pull something to us, keep something with us, push something away from us. All these we do. Asti chetna vijnata. If such a person has got all these push and pull with related to sense objects through the sense organs, vijnata brahma bhavo bahirmukhaha. He is still away from that brahma bhava. He has not attained that state of brahma sthiti. Prachina vasana vegat asau samsarati chet nasade katva vijnanan mandi bhavati vasana. But the student may ask, if there is still, even after realizing the Brahman, will that person still be attached to senses? It looks like it sometimes. For example, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he loved sweets, and he used to jump at the sight of sweets. Then Sharda Ma is telling, so many people are coming and worshipping you and considering you as a guru. And what do you mean by jumping at the sight of sweets and getting so excited? It is not so nice for you to do that. When he says, I am just holding on to that one like. so that this body is retained in this world. So otherwise, wise people or people who have realized the self will not go behind objects of sense pleasures. Because why? The vasanas have become very dull. The vasanas inside, the desires, the imprints of desires inside have become so weak due to lack of attention that they do not have any force to exert in the person with this Jivan Mukta Lakshana, the one who has realized the true self. The vasanas have become very weak and they don't have the power to push that person into action to fulfill those desires. अत्यंत कामुकस्यापि वृत्तिः कुण्ठति मातरि तथैव ब्रह्मणि ज्ञाते पूर्णानंदे मनीषिणः. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya gives a very extreme example here to show that how the person who has realized the self will not go behind sense pleasures. Even if a person is very very given to enjoying pleasures in the world, pleasures through all the sense organs, in front of his own mother, he will not indulge in certain pleasures which are forbidden. In the same way, one who has realized the self is like the mother, the loving mother, the caring mother that supports us all around. When the person is realized and established that self, he will not go behind other sense pleasures in the world. And so such a person roams around this world free as a Jivan Muktaha, liberated while living. So for such a person, is there any results of action which are going to trouble him? We will see that tomorrow from verses 446 to 464. There are many verses on karma. What are the results of action and in what way will the Jivan Mukta Purusha suffer or enjoy due to the results of past actions? We will see that tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Bole Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Hare Namah Parvati Pataye. Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hari Om.